Hey guys, you know, I wanted to make a couple points in the last video. I talked about how these weird people will send people pretending to be bums and all that your way to try to make you look a certain way. And then I also said how a lot of these people, these weirdos who will do this stuff will be like police officers, cops, and people that you would think should be respectable. And so I want to clarify a little bit and go into that. One, I want to talk about the homeless people. You know, there's a stigma around homeless people that they're all problem people. And a lot of them choose to live that way. I saw a video one time. It was kind of funny. I can't remember the guy who actually did it, but it was hilarious. He did like a little skit. And he's like a construction worker and he sees this homeless guy in the woods. And he's like kind of being, he's kind of making fun of him at first. And then the homeless guy starts talking to him. And he starts telling him about how he's free and doesn't have to he doesn't have to work a job. He can do what he wants and really is experiencing freedom. And by the end of the video, the guy who was making fun of him is like, well man, you got another mat out here? Because he's thinking about joining them. He's thinking about quitting his job and being homeless too. And I thought it was hilarious, and I think in its humor, it brings up a point. A lot of these homeless guys really experience more freedom than a lot of folks who grind the job and get stuck in the indebted servant life will ever experience. And you'd be surprised, actually, what kind of stories and wisdom you could get from a homeless person. You'd also get some sad stories. A lot of those guys definitely, go through a lot of things. I did some volunteer work at the city mission out there in Savannah with our church at one time. And yeah, when you get to actually sit down and talk with these guys and actually just talk. You'd be surprised, how much things you can learn from them. And then I want to go back to my other point of talking about the firefighters and police officers who are more interested in being lackeys for their boys at the lodge. And I'm going to go ahead and say, one, we need to develop a test to be able to identify narcissism in people who hold these positions, okay? And then two, I want to say that if they have enough time to target citizens, then they need more duties. They need more things to do. Obviously, they don't have enough to do. If they got enough time to target people just because boys in their lodge don't like them, then they got too much time on their hands. We have too many of them on the payroll then. Obviously, they don't have enough things to do. Maybe they need to go out and help the city maintenance guys. I'm sure they could use some help, some extra hands. We need to think of some more stuff for these firefighters to do, these police officers. Maybe there ain't enough cats and trees for them to go help. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you that a lot of them ain't that busy. A lot of them just working out, goofing around, being lackeys for their boys at the lodge. Again, it's not every single one, right? There's got to be some good in there, okay? I'm going to try to give it some benefit of the doubt. But there's a good 90% of them that are just yoked up in that stupid occult. And they got too much time on their hands. So we either need to figure out a way to filter them out. And if you can't filter them out, then you need to give them a bunch of stuff to do to where they don't have enough time to goof around and do the whole parade that they got going on. Again, it's going to be unpopular opinion, especially with them good old boys, but I really don't care.